This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Dr. Aaron L. Smith. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing great. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have you, my friend. What part of the world are you in right now?
On the Eastern Coast, we're in a place called Chesapeake, Virginia.
All right. Yeah, Virginia. We've been there. It's pretty cool there, my friend. What temperature is it there right now?
Today it's in the mid-40s, so that's one unique thing about Virginia is one day it's spring, another day it's winter.
Well, do tell us, which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Well, I think I have a lot to share about the education world, specifically STEM and workplace readiness.
Yeah, dig into that. Tell us about STEM, please.
Okay. For the viewers and listeners who don't know about it, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And on the school level, that's a chance for kids to really see a lot of hands-on learning type of opportunities. But when you talk about workplace readiness, that is a chance to really dive into potentially new careers and new opportunities and better wages for the current workforce.
Now, paint a picture of workplace readiness for us, please.
Sure. Workplace readiness is the opportunity for people to really advance themselves and their skill sets, as a trove of utilities that they've developed throughout the years. And it's through experiences, it's through opportunities, it's through trainings and potentially certifications that people get that really leverage them into that next level of what a true 21st century employee should be doing.
Which is a lot, isn't it? Like, I mean, from the old school union worker where you had one job description and you did that one thing, it's evolved tremendously, hasn't it?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, back in the day, for decades, it would be a lot of machine, assembly type of things. But now jobs are changing so quick and the technology is advancing that we have to live in an information product producing era. And if we don't keep up with these times, the job's going to go elsewhere. And unfortunately, it's going to create some catastrophic things.
I equate what you do to someone who is translating a foreign language, right? You're the person that's translating on behalf of individuals who are entering into the workplace who don't understand what is required. Who did you learn that from, that ability to be that individual?
Well, it started off with me being a math teacher, and then from there, I grew into an administrator who just loved working with technology and seeing things develop and evolve. And my current job allows me to see so many of these things being put together to a level that's really, sight unseen by so many places.
Why will you continue to do this? I mean, of course, there are the challenges.
Well, there's challenges, but there's also opportunities. And I remind myself frequently, we're only bound by our own imagination. And what we do decide to do in life is what we go and conquer.
Love that. Where's the best place for someone to connect with you?
Simple. It's wr.solutions. That's the website. Of course, on Twitter at Work Readiness, and then also Workplace Readiness Solutions on Facebook.
Now tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years, please.
One thing I've consistently done is continue to seek partnerships with people outside of the schools to really help bring the best into our schools, and that could be everything from mentoring to working on grants and just trying to learn what's out there so that we can be on the cutting edge so that our kids can really have the best opportunities possible.
How does all of this make you feel?
It feels good. To me, as an educator, we know we're not in it for the money. And it's so important for us to share what we know and what we need to do to get our kids into the next level. To me, it's extremely rewarding when kids come back and tell you that they're on their way, or you already know they're successful by the smiles that they come in with their faces.
How do you measure those intangibles? Not being in it for the money and being in it for the joy of the individual. How do you manage that?
Well, you have to remember, sometimes it's people that are coming back that have graduated. for sometimes it's the opportunity to connect with the kid after you've heard their story, and you know that they're coming from some very difficult hardships, and you build a sense of trust, camaraderie, and they know that you have their best interest at heart.
I think it would be really cool to build something that looks at that. However, I think that will create inspiration for you as well. Be it the meter or the whatever you do, create the dashboard where you're seeing these individuals that return and share their stories. And that's just my humble input. But I think that helps tremendously because systems rarely are built with that, aren't they?
It really is, and you're so right. You don't think about things like that. And that's why I love talking with people outside of my circle, because I develop new things and new ideas. And when we live in a society that's always focused on the negativity, we need to remind ourselves that there's far more positives than negatives that are going on.
Yeah, definitely. And I speak from my perspective as well. Implementation of things like that really change your experience. Like having these conversations can be seen as, hey, why are you speaking to so many people? And what value do you get from that? And again, if we would apply a monetary value, there's that. And then if you applied what I learned and the wisdom and the experiences and the joy from these conversations, how do I measure that? Right? So, looking forward to see what you come up with. All right, my friend, let's switch gears for a moment. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, blue Caribbean water. Dr. Aaron, what is your earliest childhood memory?
I think I was 2 years old, and my dad was tossing a baseball to me, and my mom was out in center field chasing him down.
Wow. Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I just, I always loved baseball growing up. I loved sports, and of course, it just resonated with me for decades. And, until I finally put up the cleats, that was who I was for 30 years.
Wow. How do you see that memory connecting to who you are today?
I see the sports in my children. I have 3 kids, 3 amazing kids doing some phenomenal things. And, you partly live through their excitement and their enthusiasm and yet their frustrations. And you try to share with them your experiences so that they have a better tomorrow.
I love it. Love it. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Please, absolutely.
I do love what you said earlier on when you said, that's why I love speaking with other people, because you get to learn so many other things. And to see the imagery of you playing baseball, but to see like your mother, right? And that you had the overarching view of seeing different people in different perspectives, doing different things, even when it wasn't in alignment with what was normal, if you would. Your mother running down your father, right? Like I just love that imagery, and to see what you're doing now by really expanding, by having that openness, it's beautiful.
Wow, you are definitely gifted.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You'll be fast forwarded to when you were 12. What was your favorite song?
Van Halen, 1984, Jump.
Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination. But before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. Are you ready?
Let's roll.
Dr. Aaron, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Not yet.
Are you married? Sure. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. Yes, I am.
No, you could go ahead. You think you're... Go ahead.
No, I don't think I've finessed it yet. And I think that's why I'm not ready to pass it down yet.
All right. So you said you're married. You said you have children, right, earlier on. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
I do.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No, rarely.
All right. How about 3 hours a week?
Maybe 4 or 5, truthfully.
What about screen time, the phone and or the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
It's less than 8 hours a day.
If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Dr. Aaron L. Smith, what would you say that is?
It's our responsibility as a society to help advance one another, whether it's as a teacher, whether it's as a community. We owe it to each other to make it better for our children. And the only way we can do that is to start by taking that first step.
Dr. Smith, this was such a great pleasure, my friend. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
I appreciate the opportunity to share with your audience. This has been an incredible, fun time for me, and I look forward to the prospect of doing it again.
Love it. Dr. Aaron L. Smith, thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.